Well, good Saturday morning to you all. This is Storm Track 7 meteorologist Robbie coming right. Welcome to this week's edition of Weather Wonders. And if you see behind me, we've got severe weather season on the way, of course, and we've got to talk about storm spotter training. We've got a lot of classes coming up. Chief Meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg actually posted an article about all the classes coming up. But let's dive into why you should do it and what you would be doing in the first place. So let's dive in here again. Really just some exciting stuff. Again, if you are a weather enthusiast yourself, this is something you should really consider. But here's the first question. Who's eligible in the first place? You might be wondering. Well, anybody's welcome. So that's some welcome news in the first place, as long as you have an interest helping out the community, of course, being aware of severe weather that might be impacting the area. And if you have an interest in the weather, so maybe you're a weather enthusiast, you've always been fascinated by it. I could say the same. I actually remember taking my first storm spotter training class back when I was in my teens still, not too long ago, of course. But I do remember, and it's a pretty fascinating course to take part in. But it's encouraged, especially if you're responsible for larger groups of people, maybe if you're outdoors as well, heading something up with a specific organization. It's definitely encouraged by the National Weather Service if you find yourself in those positions. But after that, you might be wondering, what exactly would you be learning in the first place? Well, there's a number of different things, but just to sum it all up again, in terms of severe weather, a lot of storm development, the structure of those storms, how they form, how they develop. You'd also, in terms of severe weather, be identifying how different features, I should say, of severe weather storms. Maybe hail, tornado formation, lightning, again, safety in that matter. But again, a lot of severe weather, even some wintry weather features that you would be looking at. We'll get into that with reporting. But again, speaking of that, you'll learn what information to report, how to report it. We'll go over that in just a second here. But like I mentioned briefly a moment ago, severe weather safety is one of the biggest things here, of course, and just communicating that to the public as long as you relay that to the National Weather Service, which then relays that to the general public. But again, one of the main questions, what are you going to report? Well, there's a lot. Tornadoes and funnel clouds, we'll just go over this briefly again. You will see just some of the generic identifications here, but a lot of it's just about damage. What are you seeing? What are the impacts? What's the movement, say, of these tornadoes, funnel clouds, wall clouds, whatever it might be. Now, there's also hail and damaging winds in terms of severe weather. The size of it, of course, and again, it all goes down to damage. If you see damage, you're going to be taking pictures of that, of course, and sending that in to the Weather Service, or here at the Storm Track 7 Weather Center, of course. But in terms of anything else, flooding, snowfall, just reporting amounts, and of course the impacts that you're seeing. But the biggest question, why you should do it? Well, we all know weather can have devastating impacts on us. Here's a look at the Kyoto tornado last March. EF4 there, devastating, damaging impacts. We do need people to consider helping the community out, relaying this information that you see that we can't see here at the station or the National Weather Service can't see either. It's important to relay that information to us or them so that we can get it out to the general public and situations like this arise. But if you want to find out more information, be sure to check out the article on Snacks Weather Blog at kwwl.com under the Weather tab. If you have questions, just let us know. Otherwise, stick around. We'll be right back.